Had a few technical issues. A couple of cables had come loose uh, since I last streamed last week, but all sorted now. I think the Amiga emulator is up and running okay. So, it's been a day. Fun with chronic fatigue syndrome, part 200 in the series. You wake up, take your meds, have breakfast and stuff, doze off at 10 a.m., wake up 8 hours later, an hour before you stream. Uh, so yeah, getting everything set up and organised has been a bit of a rush, but hopefully it's all working now. And yeah, I'm not picking the easiest game when I'm still a wee bit sleepy. Not picking the easiest game to try and stream right now. Hopefully the volume level's okay. I did do a quick test. Yay! Looks like it's working. So yes, we did try Uridium 1 on the Spectrum emulator last week. It didn't quite work because we couldn't get the controls set up to work with the joypad, and for some reason we couldn't find which button on the keyboard made you go up, so it really didn't help matters. But here we go. So being the Amiga, we'll have a little bit of loading times with stuff, but hopefully it's all good. So yeah, been a bit of a day, but we got there in the end. So I did make a list of games I was going to try streaming tonight. The question is, can I find the notepad that had that list in it? And the answer would appear to be no, but I'll just wing it. I think I can remember most of the ones I was going to look at anyway, so we'll have enough to last us until 9 PM anyway. So I keep looking that way to look at the camera when it's not. The camera's over there. So hello everyone. If you're watching this live or on the archives either on Twitch or YouTube, welcome. Welcome to the comfy zone. We're just here to play some games, enjoy ourselves, and just generally chill out. The world kinda needs just a bit of chill out at the moment, so here we are. And we're going to chill out by zooming around at ridiculous speeds and shooting lots of aliens. That'll do. And of course the other thing is, sometimes with this I'm not sure if the loading time... Oh no, here we go. Oh, now this music is another one. I'm going to have so many memories brought back by music tonight. The Amiga was the system that... Well, the Spectrum 128 kind of got me into game music, but really it was when the Amiga hit that I became kind of obsessed with video game soundtracks. Yes, Uridium 2, released by Renegade, because Craft Gold, who were mainly Steve Turner and Andrew Braybrick, who used to more or less exclusively do games for Hewson on the Spectrum. Switched over to Renegade, released Fire and Ice, which is an excellent platformer with a cool coyote. This only ever came out on the Amiga, so if you had another system, nope, you're not gonna play it there. And this remains one of my favourite shooters on the system, even though I am not very good at it. So, let's go. It basically took everything that was in the original Uridium and just ramped it up to 11. I'll tell you something, this is one of many games that really are using an Xbox 360 joypad really helps. I say that and I die. Yeah, it's the same concept as the original. Basically, shoot enemies until you get the land now warning. Find the runway you need to land on, which is this one. But I don't. I need to be the right way up and not sideways. And then we'll get a little mini game where we'll have to shoot the core. This has some weird gravitational fluctuations and floaty controls. Now comes a bit where we can stick around, pick up some power-ups. Laser will do, and then hold the button down to get the portal to go out. And that's the first dreadnought done. I will mention a lot of the games today will have a big bar at the bottom of the screen. That's entirely down to probably most of the games I'll be playing today being PAL versions, and how the Amiga did kind of handle that was a big gap at the bottom. We can run it fuller screen and zoomed in a bit, but it would mean kind of resetting the webcam window depending on the game, so it was kind of safer to have it like this. But the screen should still be very much clear enough. Yes, the main thing here is, not so much at the moment, but the levels get more complex as we go along, and we'll start getting walls that will kill us as soon as we hit them. And a lot of the time in Uridium 2, that's how you'll die, is because you'll hit the walls rather than the enemies. Plan now, okay. Up here we go. Yes, so far Amiga emulation has been working really well. I've only had real issues with one game, and that was Legends of Valor, which is a game that kind of inspired Elder Scrolls a bit. It's kind of a small open world, but an open world nonetheless. Open world first person RPG that all took place in one city. And the game appears to work, but none of the options show up on the main menu, so I can't actually start the game. And it's weird that just this one game does that. Everything else I've tried so far has worked. Yes, those are the walls that will kill you if you smack into them. When you're flying around at high speed, like you do in this game, it's very easy to do. Oh, come on. So, my history with Amiga. Come 1990, went off to university, still owned a ZX Spectrum, 128K. Made new friends at university. One of them had an Amiga. I went to his house a few times, played the Amiga, and was like, I kind of want one of these. And when my student loan came through, I went to an excellent computer shop in town, a wee indie store called Holborn Computers, and bought the Screen Gems pack, which came with Deluxe Paint 2, Robocop 2, Nightbreed, the adventure game, Back to the Future 2, and a couple other things, and that was me for the next few years. Oops, there we go, right in our vault. And again, it was a bit like the Spectrum, many of my friends also owned Amigas, so we'd all be going around each other's houses and swapping games and playing different things. So yes, if you like this sort of shoot 'em up, there's a game called Hyper Sentinel available on PC, Switch, I think PS4, that is very much a spiritual successor to the original Uridium. I keep hitting that bit. Very retro look to it, lots of power-ups, similar kind of setup, except it actually has some proper boss battles in it. And not very expensive either. I think it's about £7 or £6-7. Ah, there we go. Turn round, and there we go. Ah! And yes, if you fail that, you just get kicked out. So no bonus points that time round. And some of you who owned a Nintendo Entertainment, some of you who used to own a Nintendo Entertainment System and played the last Starfighter tie-in game might think this looks a wee bit familiar. Yeah, the last Starfighter was basically a rebadged Iridium for the NES. They changed some of the graphics and that was it. Not the only time that happened to a great game. Turrican 2, for some bizarre reason, the console versions got a Universal Soldier tie-in. They removed some levels, made a few original ones, and replaced some of the bosses with giant Dolph Lundgrens, as you do. Turrican 2 is a game we will most likely get onto later tonight. Try and get those power-ups. Yes, these little mini-game bits get significantly harder as you go along. And the kind of weird gravitational pulses really do not help. Nah, I'm just gonna get out. Don't think I'm gonna make that one. And off we go. Doing better than expected. He says, crashing into the walls as well one more time. Ah! Almost. Oh! So yes, you'll find the layouts getting more and more complex as we go along. Oh, last manta. Ah, almost. And right into the wall again. did not bad there. Put the usual in. The G, the R and the D. I never got. Yay, got the high score. So yeah, 2-2. That's possibly equal to, I think that's maybe equal to the furthest I ever got back in the day. So for my first proper attempt back after a few years, that's not so bad. So that was Uridium 2, highly recommended. We shall now go on to another shooter that when I did tests with it I was not getting on very well at, but then I was trying to take screenshots at the same time, which probably wouldn't have helped. There we go. And again, another game with a fantastic soundtrack from Chris Healsbeck. And he later released a whole album of an arranged soundtrack to this that is just, oh, fantastic. Yes, you'll notice this game, full screen. Oops, wrong button. I'll leave the running here. So yes, if you didn't know, you might be wondering, oh, you might be thinking, oh, this will be some sort of fantasy platformer game or something. That's the type of plot you normally get in those sort of things. No. Okay, hopefully this will work. No, what you get here is a Gradius style shooter. Set you an insect. And I crashed into the ground straight away. Well done. Right, go on, get a grip. It might take me a little time to get a grip of this one. It wasn't the easiest of games back in the day. Ah! And of course, like Radius, you lose most of your power-ups, most of your shoot-em-ups. I knew what I meant. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, hold down the button for a charge shot like R-type. We'll give this one another go. Oh, I didn't actually mean to continue. Oh, I think it's from the start of the level, so that, yeah, it's from the start of the level, so that's not so bad. Yes, I occasionally give the Amiga a little bit of stick for what I call Euro shoot 'em ups, especially after I kind of upgraded to the Super Nintendo. The amount of amazing shoot 'em ups on there was just whoa. But Iridium 2 and 8-bit are both ones that definitely hold up and definitely hold their own against stuff on the consoles. This is actually honestly more difficult than Gradius. This Gradius I can actually get past the first level. On a good day I can get to level 4 of R-Type without losing a life. So yeah, the difficulty level on this one, and again, freely admit, not the best at shoot 'em ups. But yeah, the difficulty level of this one is right up there. Especially when enemy shoots backwards like that. Ah, no. I seem to remember the first end of level boss in this one is a mole. An evil, infected mole, but a mole nonetheless. And yeah, I'm not going to make it to the end of the first level. Which is a shame because there's some really cool stuff later in this game. Especially the level where you suddenly get upgraded into a cyborg wasp and then the rave music kicks in. So yeah, later levels, this is the meadow's edge. You have the pond, the sewers, the Technodrome, I think it's called, and I can't remember what's after that. Nah, we're not going to get past that. But I can at least do this. So yeah, you've got nice little variations on the themes throughout each kind of section. Yeah, this is what we want. So yeah, the whole cyborg wasp techno section, yeah, the music goes all techno as well. Brilliant stuff. So we'll go on to something else now, and one that I fondly remember, but I'm not sure if a lot of other people do. Nice little game released by Hudson Soft. Well, released by Hudson Soft in some places, developed by Scipio, published by Playbyte. And this is another game with an absolutely fantastic soundtrack on it. Yeah, Yojo. Options. Yeah, music on. We definitely want the music on. So yeah, I like the little captions at the top. So yeah, no idea what the plot to this was. And again, Amiga really helps with this because normally it would be up to jump, but this also maps it to the second button on the joypad. So it makes a lot of platform games a lot easier than they were on Amiga back in the day. Oops, didn't get very far that time. Well, we'll keep going. So yeah, this was low-key one of my favourite platformers in the system. And again, fantastic soundtrack. Come on, stop it with that. And back to the start. Well done. Okay, I don't think no map or anything. You basically just big open level. Find your own way. Just trying to go up over the ledge. Come on, get up. There we go. And dead again. Not quite back to the start of the level this time, at least. Now we've got the nunchucks. Woohoo! So I'm not talking much during this, I'm just really, I really enjoy this game. And like I said, I'm not sure it's one a lot of people remember. It certainly doesn't seem to get mentioned too much when people mention Amiga platformers. Oh, that was weird. Is that a pipe? Why, yes it is. Okay, the problem here is okay, you can't. Okay, switch back to the nun. Chucks. And all the way back. So this is this actually is a perfect example of another thing I want to do in some of these streams, is just show people some old games they might not have heard of, and if they want to go and track them down and give them a go themselves, brilliant. Oops, here we go. Yes, the ledge grabbing can be a little bit finicky at times. Come on. You're hold down the button seems to be, hold down the jump button, or up, seems to be how to get past those bits. There we go. Oh, that was bad. And game over. I'll be honest, back in the day, I don't think I ever got off that first level. It's a big level. But it didn't matter because I was always having fun with it. So I don't even know what the other levels look like. There was a thing I could have hit the button for the trainer, but I'm trying to have the proper game experience tonight. Trainers, maybe some other night. So yeah, that was Yo-Yo. Said a bit of an obscure one, but really, really good. Okay, I'm going to go back to shooters for a bit. I'm going to play a couple that, at least back in the day, people kind of held up and saying, "Oh, the Amiga's brilliant for shooters." I don't. One of them maybe doesn't hold up. One of them I'm not sure because I've literally not played it in about 25 years. But we'll go for the one that maybe hasn't quite held up nowadays, but I don't know, I might be surprised, which is the original Xenon. Which even got a Spectrum conversion back in the day. Oh, again, music bringing back memories. When the Bitmap Brothers there. So yes, you basically waggled the joystick to transform from spaceship to tank. And I'll be honest, or you can hit. Or I can hit the X button on the joypad. That's a lot easier. Okay, now that we kind of know what we're doing, just think, some enemies you could only hit from the air, others you could only hit from the ground. Yeah, this definitely highlights the metal graphics style that not only Bitmap Brothers stuff but a lot of other Amiga games had. Oh, at least I don't start right at the beginning of the level, although where I did start wasn't exactly the best place to hit. And yes, it forces you back to the tank for the first boss. this is a bit unfair. Especially when you've got an absolutely tiny and narrow... Oh, did it just put me right back at the start of the level? Oh no, I think I used the continue. Anyway, that Xenon, not as bad as... It's held up a little better than I expected, but... Yeah, again, the difficulty, a bit dodgy. The other one everyone went on about at the time was one I think I only ever played once back in the day, and was a budget title called Sidewinder. And we'll see if it's held up. I keep hitting the start button and that doesn't do anything, it brings the menu up. So yes, this was Sidewinder. Yeah, we want average. Use joystick to start. Okay. Okay. It certainly feels quite nice to control. Reminds me a little bit of kind of Star Soldier or Star Force. Again, the stuff that's blocking my lasers, but I'm not sure what would happen if I actually hit it with the ship. It's not bad, I suppose, but... Yeah, I can certainly think of at least 4 vertical shooters in the Amiga that are better. And I will definitely play at least one of those a little later on. Yeah, the sound effects are a bit weird. I don't... Yeah, it's like... It feels like there's no sound effect actually connected with the lasers I'm shooting. Yeah, there's just a weird disconnect with the sound effects. Yeah, well, that went well. How many lives do I have? Okay, that many lives. Yeah, I can see how back in the day people would maybe be into that, but it's alright. However, is it here? When it comes to vertical shooters in the Amiga, this was the one I went for back in the day. Which did get converted, kind of ported to the Mega Drive and SNES, but not really because they changed stuff. And there was a Spectrum port, but really this is the place to play the definitive version. The thing about this game was, it wasn't split up into levels. The entire game was one continuous level that actually loaded from disk as it went along. Oh, and I should have left the title going for the music, because it had an awesome theme tune. And again, this is another of those games where you take one look at the graphics style and like, yeah, that's an Amiga game. This was very much inspired by games like Flying Shark and Twin Cobra. It was actually at the time kind of marketed as a sequel to Silkworm, which was an arcade port released by the same publisher and programmers. But it wasn't really. It was one of those odd occasions where they kind of have the rights to make a sequel to an arcade game they've ported. But like how Computers had a Gauntlet 3, and there was a Strider 2, and Human Killing Machine, which was an original Street Fighter arcade game sequel, but wasn't. There was some weird legal shenanigans going on back in the day. Trick is to get the bubbles, they make you invincible for a bit. If you can, get them when the Goose Copter shows up, because that's the only place you get the power-ups, apart from the bubble, from what I remember. Yes, this did get released on the released on the Mega Drive and SNES as either Super Swiv or Firepower 2000, depending on what country you were in. But they split it into levels and changed stuff, and I don't think it's as good. Far kind of fair the original version. It's a bit like how the Mega Drive version of Xenon 2 just doesn't. There's something not quite right about it. Oh. Well, we're doing quite well for a bit there. I just used to continue without really noticing. This game does suddenly get a bit harder. And yes, if you pick up a second bubble when you got the first one, if you shoot these, you get power-ups, a bit like the Bells and Pop and Twin Bee, but if you're like me, you mess it up and you just get money and not brilliant power-ups. Now see, unlike Light Force, you can shoot those things. Oh, There we go. Go up and die. That was just stupid. Oh no, last credit. You get 3 credits, okay. Yes, again, if you come here for expert gameplay, you're gonna be disappointed. Oh, there's a bubble there as well. Oh, nah, dead. So some nice stats there. Leaving out the "you're rubbish." Now if I leave this a little bit, will it play the music? No, doesn't look like it. Okay. Let's go to the game that stoked my love for pinball games. If it hadn't been for this and its sequel, I possibly wouldn't be a bit obsessed with pinball games to this day. And yes, them who make Battlefield now. Yes, Digital Illusions, now known as DICE, makers of Battlefield and Battlefront and Mirror's Edge. Oh, now this brings back memories. Is it F1? Yep. Yes, Pinball Dreams and Pinball Fantasies I got absolutely obsessed by. And later on there was Epic Pinball and Extreme Pinball on the PC. And yeah, they got me absolutely into video game pinball. That's why I have so much of it now. I own like the entire Pinball Arcade and Zen Pinball collections on Android. On most of the Pinball Arcade on PS4. And at some point plan on getting the complete Pinball FX collection on there as well. But there's just something about it, I like playing them on Android just for the on the tablet, just for the portrait mode. Pinball just kind of feels at home on a tablet. these have been ported to various systems. The Super Nintendo ports are a bit, they're okay, but because of the screen resolution they scroll left and right as well, which makes it a bit more difficult. The versions for the PC available on Good Old Games, and in fact I could actually fire those up some other night because I do actually have them. We'll have one more go at that table. There is a collection for the Game Boy Advance. It's quite good. But the best home versions are actually on the PlayStation Portable. Ports of Dreams and Fantasies got released, and you have another Tate mode where you hold the handheld sideways and have the whole table displayed at once on the portrait screen, on the portrait orientated screen. Ah, no, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes, I didn't get to play much of Pinball Illusions, the third game back in the day, because by that point I'd moved over to the Super Nintendo, really. Even though Pinball Illusions was, I believe, Amiga 1200 only, well, Amiga AGA only, and I had a 1200. At one point sold it and spent the money on Super Nintendo games. I still had an A500 though, so I could still play older Amiga stuff, but yeah. Do I regret selling it? Kind of. Not as much as I regret selling my Sega Saturn. That was a big mistake. Ah, scared stuff. And funnily enough, both my favourite tables in Illusions and Fantasies were the horror based ones, and I've got a thing for horror based pinball tables. Monster Bash and Elvira's Scared Stiff are two of my favourite pinball tables. Both of them for Pinball Arcade, both the Android and PS4 versions, so you might see me playing some of those at some point. Game over. Now I'm trying to remember what button gets me back to the main menu. I'm guessing it's escape. Yes it is. Really quick? Yes. We'll have a quick go. We'll have one go each on the other tables. Oh, again, that music. Oh, I didn't get a bonus. probably my least played table out of the four. Yeah, not doing too well at this one. No, missed out the bonus again. Yeah, I'm rubbish at that table. Ooh, weird noise there. Oh, that was bad. No, there we go. Saved it. Just. So yes, if I remember rightly, I think it's the Pinball Gold pack on Good Old Games. And I think that gets you Dreams, Fantasies, and I think Illusions. I can't remember because it's been a while since I've played the pack. I need to get it in the complete Epic Pinball packs reinstalled on my system. Yeah, this is going really well. Apologies for yawning. As I said, I kind of slept through 3 alarms and woke up at 6 PM. So still not quite 100%, but oh, we're getting there. So yes, the plan had been to play some more Final Fantasy VII Remake today, because I'm about 10 hours in. I've just fallen into this flower bed. Absolutely loving the game so far. Just much like Resident Evil 3, just so many the Resident Evil 3 remake, just so many nostalgic feelings, and they've just updated the game perfectly for modern times. Playing as Tifa especially is the most fun I've had with combat in an RPG since Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, which is a game I might stream at some point. Especially as at the moment there may be a delay in me getting some of the other streaming equipment I planned on getting. It keeps going in and out of stock in places just with the current world situation. So if I can get the equipment when I want to order it at the end of the month, fine. If I can't, I'll just keep streaming retro and PC stuff for foreseeable until I get the equipment needed. stable. A bit better this time. I've got a high score though. Okay, unfortunately I'm beginning to flag a bit and I'm not. I think the fatigue's my fatigue's beginning to come and hit me. So I'm afraid I'm going to cut this. Hold on, I'll put that back. I'm afraid I'm going to cut tonight's stream short a bit, but I will try and do an extra stream some evening in the next week before next Friday to make up for it a bit. So I can only apologise, because of my chronic fatigue syndrome. It's hit and miss on a day-to-day basis what I can and can't do. But I thought I'd be okay to go tonight, but I can feel things going a bit. So thanks to anyone watching, like live or on archive. Apologies for. We've managed to do an hour and 10 minutes, so an hour and a quarter, so it's not too bad. But I will try and get another 2-hour stream done before next Friday. If not, I will hopefully see you all next Friday. I will play some more Amiga stuff because I've only gotten about halfway through the list of stuff I wanted to play tonight. But, everyone stay safe, stay well, and just, be nice to each other. Don't be an arse, as we say. So, thanks again, and bye!